And we got action tonight. Yeah, it's a Tuesday. We're watching college football. Ohio taking on Western Michigan. This line opened up as a slight favorite to Ohio, around 2.5 points, depending where you're shopping at, and a -1.5 and -1s are in the marketplace now. Total listed around 46.5 across the board. Ohio, Western Michigan, Joe. What is the spread line tonight we need to watch out for?
Huge game in action for the future. Both teams 4-1 in league play, locked in a 4-way tie. But Western Michigan hasn't played a game since November 1st, so they are at home in this one. We just saw Ohio win a game last week. In fact, last Tuesday night. They ended up coming from behind in order to win against Miami of Ohio to give themselves an opportunity here at another MAC championship game. So we saw this open up at 2, Donnie, and boy, oh boy, it is now flipped. We're seeing pick'ems and -1 for the home team. They opened up as a home dog, but now we're starting to see a ton of Broncos money hit the marketplace. Keep an eye on the total as well. Opened up at 47.5. It's dropping, Donnie. Temperatures are going to be in the 20s. We're going to have double-digit winds. It is going to be a very cold night here in Bronco country with a MAC championship on the line here tonight.
How about that? More college football on the horizon for us. You see the next game coming up. It is Oklahoma and Alabama. This game is going to be played in Tuscaloosa. The look-ahead line on this one, at least at FanDuel, Joe, was -8.5 for Alabama. That's down to 5.5 at FanDuel, 6 at many other outlets. And look at this total, 46.5 to 45.5, depending where you're shopping at. And as I see it right now, a lot of action coming in on Oklahoma as the side here as a public underdog. Oklahoma, Alabama. What's that spread line today, Joe?
Yeah, well, this is going to be one of those situations, Donnie. You're right. We're seeing the money come in here, but this is going to be, okay, what matters most? Recent performance or overall performance for the full season? I mean, John Mateer has clearly not been the same quarterback since he returned from that break there with the hand injury here. But they doesn't seem to stop folks from thinking that he is the right side here. And Oklahoma's defense going up against this Alabama quarterback, Ty Simpson, who, Donnie, call me crazy, could very well be the front runner for the Heisman Trophy. I mean, what else can Alabama do? They've ripped off 8 wins in a row. And we've got a market that's showing an awful lot of respect here for the Oklahoma Sooners. I don't know. I think the money for Alabama is sitting on the sidelines, Donnie. If this thing gets any crazier, I think come kickoff, it's going to be all Alabama money.
ACC. How about this? Virginia and Duke trying to decide the ACC. Well, it'll be a big game on Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern. The opening line around 5.5 points. It's going slightly higher, Joe. 6.5s and 6s in the marketplaces right now as a favorite towards the Duke Blue Devils, and a total of 57.5. Virginia, Duke. What's your spread line here?
This is going to be very interesting to see how this progresses throughout the week, Donnie. We're going to keep a tab on this game because we just watched Duke lose to UConn when they had everything going in their direction, right? Yeah. They go to Clemson, they beat Clemson, now they got UConn. And then Virginia, who was undefeated, right, had the keys to the ACC championship game. Well, they fumbled that away against Wake Forest, literally kept turning the ball over to Wake Forest there. And now what do we do? So I think it's going to be interesting to see, Donnie, where this line goes as the week progresses. It's clear that Duke and that quarterback, Darian Menza, who makes more money than any other quarterback, by the way, in the NIL pool in the country, it's going to be interesting to see. Duke's gotten a lot, and I mean a lot of sharp money this season. I think that continues as the week goes on.
Come on now, step up. It's college football. And by the way, Joe, like sometimes like you pour a little bit out for the homies, right? You shed a tear or two. Week 12 of the college football season. And by the way, it's really week 13 because we get a week 0 in there. So 0 to 12, boy, time flies. But also understand this. I keep bringing this up every week. Like we're November 11th, Joe. We have the rest of November, the rest of December, and damn near the rest of January with college football. This is a long season.
It's crazy. I mean, by the time we get to Friday night, Donnie, there is less than a month left in the college football regular season. And by the way, because I think the Army-Navy game is December 13th. So
Yeah.
We're almost at that point where it's going to be all about the postseason soon.
It is going to be all about the postseason, which we're going to love with the top 12. But before we get there, Joe, let's take a look at some of the favorites here in the race to win the national championship. It's no surprise. It's Ohio State by a long and wide margin here, a plus 195. Indiana at a plus 550 price. A&M at 7-1. Alabama 9-1. And there's Notre Dame sitting at 10-1. Now, we see the two teams at the top of the standings here, Joe, in the odds market, both from the Big Ten. I love Indiana, but Indiana pulling one out at Penn State, does that fracture you a little bit? Or it's like, no, tough place to play, still got talent on Penn State, just give them credit for the win? Or does that sort of put a little bit of a damper saying, ooh, I don't know if they can battle Ohio State when they're going to meet?
None of it matters, honey. Nobody's going to remember that you squeaked one out in Happy Valley against Penn State, who you hadn't beaten in Lord knows how long. But yeah, it's only going to matter on what comes down to it when it matters the most, which will be eventually Ohio State and in a postseason. So we saw them do this last year. They made it and then didn't work out all that well. They got the snot beat out of them in that last game against Ohio State, and then they got trucked in the postseason. So let's see if things are truly different for Cignetti in Indiana this year.
See, he makes me laugh. Like even that pre-kickoff interview where they get you before like the kickoff there. Hey, Cignetti, you guys never win at Indiana. He's like, these guys never played here at Penn State. Like, well, are you worried about anything? There's no time to worry. Like we're about to kick off here. Like I hated the guy last year. I absolutely love him this year as it stands at this point. But if you are looking at those standings, they're going to change. Some of these things are going to happen. Let me ask you a quick question when we're looking about futures here. Because Ohio State, Indiana, there's a legitimate chance, Joe, they're going to play twice before you get to a championship, once in the Big Ten final and maybe once in the playoffs here. How do you view that matchup where it's odd? Because in the past, it was like, okay, you're going to get to this game, you're both undefeated, somebody's going to lose and be out. The fact of the matter is that you're in that, yes, you want to win and get the higher seed, but it's kind of funny that they could play twice.
Listen, any given Saturday, right? It really does. Anytime, anything is possible here. And it always comes down to the same thing. It's rinse and repeat here, Donnie, right? So Ohio State, the big game for them, forget Indiana. They're not even thinking about Indiana right now. Brian Day's got to get past Michigan. That's the first obstacle here. And then Indiana, okay, so usually this always comes down to, is Brian Day going to lose to Michigan again? And then the whole world will be collapsing with Ohio State fans, and then he'll come back and beat the snot out of Indiana, and all will be right in the world here. I'm not stepping in front of this train with Ohio State because we've seen this train before, Donnie, and everything that's being reported right now is that apparently Ohio State's hasn't even opened up the playbook yet. They haven't even really, they're still in second gear. Apparently there's a third and fourth gear on this offense that apparently Ryan Day is telling everyone, we're going to start to ramp it up a little bit here over the next couple of weeks. So who are we to argue? They are the national champions after all.
And by the way, take a look at the Heisman Trophy market, sort of that, correlation to the national championship market. Who's number one? It's Ohio State. Oh, look at that. Who's number one in the Heisman race in the odds market? Plus 160, Julian Saying. How about number two? Fernando Mendoza. Number two in the country, Indiana, plus 170 price. Then you get the Simpson, Reed, Pavia, and Smith after that. If I had to give you a player right now to win the Heisman, is it going to be Julian Saying, or does he get snubbed for one of those, oh, man, Indiana's never here. Indiana's unbeaten at this point. Fernando Mendoza has been great. Let's just give him the Heisman. If you had to choose right now, who are you giving your Heisman to based on how the season's going to play out, Saying or Mendoza?
Well, I'll tell you right now, Mendoza showed me a little something there in that game. Back against the wall, he was awful in the third and fourth quarter in the second half there in one of the toughest places to play in Happy Valley. But when the game was on the line in the biggest moment, Donnie, Mendoza showed up and showed out and made the plays to get the win. That's the mark of a Heisman player. I have not yet seen that because Julian Saying hasn't been pushed just yet here, Don. It's not like they've had to pull a game out of out of nowhere and come from behind like Mendoza did. So I think that I think time will tell, but that was definitely a check in the Mendoza box for me doing what he did at Penn State.
Does it feel like, too, because understand this, like I'm just looking at the Heisman race as it is. Monday, December 1st, the Heisman ballots go out and be distributed. And correct me if I'm wrong, the Big Ten championship game would not have been played yet. Monday, December 8th, like I don't have this in front of me. Is the Big Ten championship, is that, I would assume, December 6th? Does anybody have that behind the scenes here? Because I'm just trying to get a feel. They don't play the Big Ten championship perfect. So good. You're actually going to get the winner of that football game is going to decide who wins the Heisman Trophy and who rides into what, I guess, number one overall is the seed, Joe.
That's correct. Yeah. And listen, if I'm Julian saying I need some competition. I need some games here that I can shine in against, some top competition here, Donnie, because that's what's going to matter most. Don't forget, Indiana, back against the wall, got it done. And Mendoza, let's see what Julian Saying can do here.
By the way, too, and I just read that, like Monday, December 1st, the Heisman ballots are distributed. Let me tell you something. If anybody votes on the Heisman before that game is played that weekend, which they will, strip them of their vote. Like, oh, I'm just old school. And I just think it's postseason already and it's a regular. Stop the madness. I don't want to see a single person vote. Like, well, Saying won it but lost the game. Why? Because 35 people voted for Saying before the game started because they just got lazy or forgot what they were doing. Don't make that mistake, people. By the way, quickly, Joe, Kent State Akron tonight. How we feeling? How we feeling on that one?
I'm feeling sick that I'm going to have to watch this game, Donnie, but I will. Yes, I will do it.
The floor is yours, Joe Ranieri. Got college basketball, NBA basketball. You got Maction tonight. You got a lot of stuff. You got the NBA and the NHL. Where are you going tonight for some dubs?
Donnie, I am going to go back to Maction football here tonight, and I am going to be looking at Western Michigan at home, taking on the Ohio Bobcats, who had absolutely no business beating Miami of Ohio last week, which, of course, I gave out here on the show, Donnie. And they somehow managed to blow that lead late in that game. But you're talking about a Western Michigan team going to be very emotional, too, by the way. Marshawn Nealand, the former Cowboy player who just passed, that was his alma mater there. So they have not played football since the 1st of November. So they are rested. They are ready to go. And again, we saw the Ohio Bobcats that just played a week ago on Tuesday. They're good defensively, not great. They're steady offensively, but this is an elite defense, especially in the MAC here of Western Kentucky. And I think when push comes to shove, temperatures in the low 30s, upper 20s, you're going to be dealing with some wind. It is going to be freezing. I'm going to go with the elite defense at home, who's more rested. And it will be an emotional night there for them. And I'm going to back them here at this small number, +1.5. I got Western Michigan to get it done.